G'day guys and gal! The lore of Warhammer 40k is obscenely vast and convoluted, hundreds of plotlines featuring thousands of characters from dozens of factions and sub-factions, all crushed into one setting. There's a reason why I'm able to upload 4 videos a week and seemingly never run out of ideas. While that is pretty awesome in itself, especially for my career longevity, it does make knowing what the hell is happening a bit of an effort. It also makes it hard to find out where exactly each faction and key character is up to in the lore. Guilliman's resurrection is now old news, and many things have happened since then, and now with the arcs of Omen and the return of the Lion, it's pushed the setting even further forward. Before we get started, April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, which is actually pretty important since testicular cancer is one of the very few cancers which is actually more prevalent and aggressive in young men versus older. So I'm proud to partner with Manscaped today, who are working with the Testicular Cancer Society to raise awareness. As a part of that, Manscaped has released a limited edition TCS Lawnmower 4.0, their flagship product, which is by far my favorite one to use. I have like 10 lawnmowers because they keep sending me new ones, but I always go back to the slick purple TCS one to keep the hedges trimmed. Manscaped has also recently released the Crop Mops, hydrating hygiene wipes that are perfect for cleaning our dangly sensitive bits, as well as this nifty TCS t-shirt, all of which you can get for 20% off and free international shipping using my link below. That 20% applies store-wide, not just today's featured products, so the ball deodorant, the Plow 2.0, the crop shaver, and all the awesome value packs we've spoken about previously on this channel. Support a good cause while supporting your own hygiene, and remember to check your balls. Cheers to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over what each faction and key character is up to in the current setting of the 42nd millennium. From that, we should be able to get a good staging ground from where the plot will go next. Let's get into it. To get you up to speed, Warhammer 40k lore had kind of stagnated until the 13th Black Crusade, where Abaddon destroyed Cadia, split the galaxy in two with the Great Rift, and Guilliman was resurrected by the newly formed Ynnari and Belisarius Cawl. That was the big setting shakeup that everything else has been launching from. Guilliman then rallied a fuck-off massive fleet and launched the Indomitus Crusade in order to retake and secure Imperium Sanctus, which is the side of the Imperium that the Astronomicon still shines, as well as secure key areas of Imperium Nihilus, which is the side of the galaxy where the Astronomicon no longer shines due to being blocked by the Great Rift. However, Mortarion and the forces of Nurgle attacked Ultramar, causing Guilliman to take a large part of his forces to fight Morty in the Plague Wars, whilst the Indomitus Crusade fleets broke off to cover more ground. Guilliman battles Mortarion across Ultramar before they finally duel. Mortarion, being a fuck-off big smelly moth demon, overpowers G-Man, who probably rates his dueling ability way too highly, and injects him with the God Blight, a Primarch killing virus. Guilliman straight up dies, but he survives. See, the opening of the Great Rift flooded the galaxy with psychic energy. The greatest psyker to ever live is the Emperor, hence this power-up has allowed the Emperor to somewhat pull his fractured consciousness back together and begin directly intervening in the galaxy once again. Hence the Emperor possessed Guilliman, saved him, then lit Nurgle's garden on fire, directly burning the Chaos God. Mortarion is then banished and imprisoned by Nurgle for his failures, more or less knocking Nurgle and the Death Guard out of the game for now, ending the Plague Wars. Guilliman then began preparing to fight the Tyranids. However, the return of the Silent King and the creation of the Pariah Nexus, a device that threatens to insta-kill all life in the galaxy, has drawn Guilliman's attention towards the Necrons for now, with the Silent King and G-Man showdown on the horizon. Before I get into more about the Necrons though, what about the Eldar? Eldar lore was looking pretty promising. They got a bunch of new characters, models, and the potential to awaken a new Eldar god of death who could challenge Slaanesh. Yvraine led multiple quests across multiple craft worlds to beat back the armies of Slaanesh and recover various Crone swords. If they found all of them, they could use them to awaken Yned properly. However, this quest ended pretty shitly, as it was revealed that the final Eldar Crone sword was in the palace of Slaanesh itself, more or less unreachable. Sadly, the Eldar books were quite poorly written and had shitty plot lines, so they didn't do very well, resulting in this kind of lore getting shunted and them not achieving anything of note. Currently, Yvraine is going across the galaxy, Loki acting like a bit of a bitch for Guilliman as she recently recovered 2 powerful artifacts for him that he might be able to use to help counter the Great Rift. Craftworld Baal Tan is still fragmented, Iyanden is still a ghost ship, and Ulthwé may be about to get devastated by a united Night Lord's Legion, but that plotline has yet to materialize. In a similar vein, the Dark Elder have been lacking meaningful lore lately, with Vect still doing random shit to consolidate his power whilst trying to stop his subjects from joining the Ynnari, a much much better gig than the current murder fuck everything situation that the Dark Elder usually get involved in. And I'm not even going to mention Expedited Elder lore. Harlequins are just doing Harlequin shit, I really can't keep up with them. With the Elder's recent range refresh and hopefully solid sales, we're definitely due for some juicy Eldar lore. The Tau Empire isn't the loudest when it comes to their lore, but they are trugging along, constantly inventing new shit that pushes them closer and closer to a technological powerhouse. Commander Farsight is still alive and kicking, recently featuring in the Arcs of Omen narrative as he fought some Orcs and Chaos whilst managing to resist the Call of Khorne. Shadow Sun continues her service as the Tau Warlord, however she's beginning to have doubts about the Empire as she secretly helped Farsight avoid capture at Tau hands. The Tau definitely need a bit of lore love, maybe a hectic Eldar and Tau plotline could slap. The Custodies have finally become quite active in the galaxy, leaving terror in their thousands as they accompany various fleets across the galaxy. Constantine Valdor has also begun to emerge, creating a pocket dimension in the warp that is full of supercharged blank clones, Custodies, and winged Blood Angels, as well as a huge fleet. He has been preparing for something massive for thousands of years, and with the force he has with him, could either save or destroy the Imperium. As for the Necrons, whilst most of their lore involve the fun and lovable Trizin the Infinite, who is currently trying to find a way to enter the Great Rift, whilst also throwing a bunch of Pokeballs at people along the way, the bigger lore is the return of the Silent King, who has retaken command of his dynasty, rallied numerous other dynasties to his will, and now controls a section of space which is under the effect of the Pariah Nexus. Basically a device that creates a wide-range null effect that shuts the warp down in a specific area. He basically wants to blanket the galaxy in this aura, defeating Chaos and the Tyranids, but also completely fucking over the Eldar and the Imperium, as it would kill the Emperor, shut down the Astronomicon, and make warp travel impossible. Guilliman has directed large amounts of warriors to attacking the Pariah Nexus and preventing its influence from spreading. The Silent King has been shown to be an honourable opponent, sparing enemies who fight well and with honour. After all, his ship is so OP it can vaporize worlds in an instant, but he only ever uses it like that if the enemy have been a bunch of pussy-ass bitches. Respect. Currently, we are waiting to see the showdown between him and Guilliman. Chaos has been a busy little bee lately. Buzz buzz. The Arcs of Omen's story was all about Chaos, with Abaddon teaming up with a new character called Vashtor in order to create dozens of Arcs of Omens, super Chaos ships, that would then be used to retrieve numerous key fragments. They succeed, creating the key. Vashtor and Abaddon are now searching for the lock, which is thought to hold a special Old Ones artifact that could ascend Vashtor to godhood and give Abaddon a massive advantage in his war against the Imperium. Andron is back and stronger than ever, shredding through Imperial forces and even managing to overcome and corrupt one of the main wings of the Indomitus fleets. A huge victory for Khorne. He was recently banished by the returned Lion, who bludgeoned his skull in with a shield. However, due to Khorne's favour, Andron returns from banishment extremely quickly these days, the usual 1,000 years being reduced to a handful of weeks. As stated, Mortarion is in Nurgle's naughty corner, but what about the other demon Primarchs? Well, Fulgrim is said to finally be active again, invading fringe worlds at the host of a Slaneshi horde, but the details are currently slim. Perturabo is actively helping Abaddon with weapons and tech viruses, but he himself is yet to step into the light. It's still unclear if he is actually a demon prince or has turned himself into a Primarch dreadnought to slow down his death due to the curse Fulgrim placed on him during Angel Exterminatus. Lorgar is still hiding from Corvus under the guise of quote-unquote meditation, whilst Magnus is still reforming after his banishment on Fenris and then by Guilliman on Luna. The whereabouts of Omegan is still unknown. However, with some loyalist Alpha Legionnaires still being active in the galaxy, it's safe to say he's still kicking. Now a juicy one. What is the Lion up to? Well, old mate recently woke up and kicked some ass. After awakening with a newfound ability to teleport, he visited many worlds on Imperium Nihilus and saved them from all the bullshit going on. While doing so, he has encountered and redeemed many of his fallen Dark Angel's sons. Eventually, he was found by the Blood Angels, who brought him to a battle where the Dark Angels were fighting against Vashtor, Abaddon, and Angron. The Lion was able to kick Angron's ass and send him screaming back to hell, whilst Abaddon's fleet retreated from the Blood and Dark Angel onslaught. The Lion is currently on the Rock, leading a massive army of Dark Angels that is more or less the Dark Angel Legion reformed, as it involves the Dark Angels chapter, their successor chapters, and the Redeemed Fallen. How about Balsarius Cawl and the Mechanicum? After all, it seems like he came, brought back Guilliman, created the Primaris, and then just kind of fucked off. Well, while everyone's favorite mechanical hentai monster is still busy, he recently traveled to Sotha to study the Pharos device to try find a way to build a device that can seal the Great Rift. After pranking a Catan shard, Call was able to more or less get the blueprints of the Pharos device, find others across the galaxy, and find a bunch of Blackstone, the building material of the Necrons and other advanced races. So he is currently trying to use all this info and material to build something that could seal the Great Rift, and even potentially close the Eye of Terror. The Tyranids have been a bit of a dormant threat for a while after the defeat of numerous key high fleets. However, with Leviathan recently winning the Octarius War, as well as the arrival of new high fleets, they are gearing up to be the big bads of 10th edition. I'm not really sure which character is going to be the one to hold them off, with G-Man on his way to the Silent King and the Lion fighting against Chaos, but it could actually be a dope opportunity for some unlikely alliances to form. Tau and Eldar take on the Nids. Fuck me, even seeing some Necron and Eldar fight alongside each other for the first time ever could be sweet. After all, if the Orcs and the Imperium or the Iron Warriors and Imperial Fist can team up against a greater foe, then surely the mechanical Egyptians and the Space Elves can as well. Saint Celestine was recently killed by Khan the Betrayer in an anime tier duel, however she has recently passed her horrific trial of resurrection and is back in the fray. The Orcs lore has kind of stopped recently, with Gazkel getting a new bigger body and leading a gigantic fleet that has yet to arrive somewhere meaningful. People were hoping he would be the one to take on Andron and get revenge for the death of Yarick, or maybe he'll be the one to stop the Tyranids' new offensive. But for now, a couple million Orc ships are just kind of hanging out somewhere, looking very menacing. So that's the broad strokes of who's doing what in the current setting. Even from just detailing that, I'm sure you can see a bunch of waves that are about to break. The obvious ones is the showdown between Gilliman and the Silent King, what Gazkel is about to do with his armada, what the fuck is Valdor gonna do with his Uber army, and what will happen when Vashtor unlocks the Old One's vault. I get a feeling that this edition is going to be a big one, with a lot of payoffs finally landing. I'm really curious about what will happen with the Tyranids, and if they manage to land a serious blow. I'm hoping that it doesn't become just like a Nid vs Imperium thing, but instead a Nid vs Galaxy thing, a spanner that fucks with everyone's shit. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month gives you access to a boatload of Battlemace 40 million hentai, and $10 per month gives you access to a bunch of live action nude cosplay photos. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more up-to-date content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.